This game had everything. Including a Nuggets win. Rallying from 15 down in the second half to take game one, round one of the Western Conference playoffs. Welcome everybody to Nuggets post-game live. Full house here in our Colorado social. No shots bigger down the stretch. In regulation, the Nuggets were down. They were down until that three by Russell Westbrook in the final minute. And then in overtime, the Nuggets needed something. They found something. Christian Brown, his one and only three. But it wasn't just on the offensive end. How about the hustle? Look at CB.
Another steal for the Nuggets. CB, I think, had 3 or 4 on the night.
Giving up the body to save that from going out of bounds, and then the defensive play of the game, Russell Westbrook, agent of chaos, coming up clutch in the chaotic moments at the end of this game.
That's a great way to put it.
Absolutely perfect on the switching in that situation. They had 3 or 4 switches. You knew the ball wanted to go to Harden because he could make that step back three. Russ, just a clean, went for it, and Harden poked it out of bounds.
Yeah, look, there probably was no more motivated player still for the entirety of this series than Russell Westbrook. I mean, he played for the Clippers last year. He didn't have a great playoff series at all. They shipped him to Utah, and then Utah let him go, and the Nuggets picked him up from there. And so for the opportunity to be able to get back at your former team immediately the next possible year, well, yeah, he's ready for all of this. And then he put all the energy on the court is what he did all game long. And then the corner three, because I thought that was interesting. He was so wide open. The Clippers quite clearly were going to let him take these corner threes. The issue is that Russell Westbrook actually is actively one of the best corner three shooting players in the NBA. 42%. So if you're just going to let him shoot that, that could happen to you. And it did. And Russell Westbrook put big play after big play and very necessary plays down the stretch.
Again, so many numbers and things that happen that run counterintuitive from what you expect. How many people expected the Nuggets bench to outscore the Clippers bench in this game? 23-13.
Yes.
What an introduction to you to the playoffs there as a head coach, by the way. Yeah. Huge advantage in points off turnovers for you guys. I think you were plus 20 in that category. Yep. What did you think of the execution in transition, particularly on the defensive side?
Oh, we just flew around. Those two guys caused so many issues. I thought we adjusted too much early instead of just doing what we do hard. And I thought their intensity was better than ours early in the game. And the end of the second quarter is the reason why we won the game. We don't have that run. I think it was 13-2 to get it to 4. And it felt like one of those games you're just kind of slowly crawling uphill. Then it was 3 at the end of the fourth. Seemed like we were going to win the game, tied. It just felt like it was incremental steps to win a basketball game. So it wasn't pretty on either end. Or I'm sorry, for either team, but you just got to make enough plays to win. And I told the guys in there, I'm just going to play the guys I feel like are impacting the game the most. The stat sheet really doesn't mean anything to me. But they did a good job with their adjustments. We're going to have to watch the tape and do a better job of attacking it. But that's what this is, and it was funny. I thought our best adjustment of the night was, let's go back to doing what we thought we were going to do. Let's just do it better. And we did.
Russ had that really rough week a couple weeks ago, and you said after the Kings game, you said, I'm not playing him or playing Jalen. Yeah. I'm playing whoever's going to win. What did you see from him late in this game for him to be able to be that kind of impact player that you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, Russ is Russ. Defensively, he was absolutely incredible. He was playing free safety out there. I thought a lot of the reasons why the turnovers happened, even if it wasn't him forcing it, just the way he was roaming around and impacting the game, was great for us. And then offensively, a couple of times I thought he attacked. Maybe we could have pulled it out and executed, but that's what Russ does. He's going to play in attack mode. So I don't think he's going to change after 17 years. If he sees somebody in front of him one-on-one, he's going to attack. And then he made an enormous three, in the fourth. CB's three. Aaron hit a big one, and that's what we're talking about right now. We have to be able to make shots when they triple, quadruple Jamal and Nikola. That's just the bottom line. And you can come up with all the schemes you want and change the offense and all this stuff. They're going to bring bodies. So people have to cut and finish, or they got to catch and shoot and make shots for us to do something special.
When you look at Jamal's first half and his second half, just forget the shot making or whatever, what the field goal percentage was, but there was a noticeable uptick in his aggression.
Yeah.
Was there anything said, or was it just kind of Jamal just kind of being Jamal, and how does that encapsulate how you guys are as a team?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's almost like the worse things got, the better he got. And that seems like that's always who he is. And I also thought Jamal, he's 7 for 20, 3 for 7, but the ones he made were so huge and so big. I know one, it got us back to, we were down 7, took us back down 4, made one to tie it finally. And the side pick and roll was really good to us tonight, allowed us to attack in different ways, flash people behind the defense. And Jamal got loose a little bit that way. So, and then obviously Nicole every night, man, it's 29, 12, and 9 in that game, that physical of a game, just incredible.
On the other end of the Russ thing, Malone always said that Michael Porter took pride in closing and being able to close.
Yeah.
Rest of this series going forward, what can he do to kind of get going? What can you guys do to kind of get him going throughout?
Well, I think obviously, everybody has to engage the game. And I think everybody takes pride in finishing games on our team. And if Jalen Pickett has a night, he's going to finish the game. That's just it. That's the bottom line. It's the guys that are playing the best at that time are going to finish. And I thought the runs that were made, I was going to go back to Mike at the end of the second, and we made a run. And it's like you can't stunt runs when things are happening. And then I felt bad for Mike because he sat so long. There was a couple situations late game. Do you throw him back in? Is that fair? Is that fair to somebody and the ball finds them and they've been sitting for not game time, but real lifetime, 40 minutes? So there's two ways to look at that. You can say, well, I chose not to play Michael, or you can say, should I put Michael in a really unfair situation? Should I do that to him? I don't think so. And so I think the 5 guys that finished did their job, and we won this game defensively. We really did. And with timely shots from guys that aren't named Jamal and Nicola.
Coach, Nicola was involved in 2 plays that were pretty strange. I think one where he got hit in the face and then was on the ground. They started the 5-second clock and he kind of threw it in, ended up getting a technical. Yeah. And then the other where the Clippers bench is holding onto the ball. Yeah. What did you make of those plays and sort of how he handled them and how the refs controlled the game there? Right. We watched it. He got hit. It wasn't intentional. Derek just caught him. And I think he thought there would be a call after the play and there was no call. As far as the coaching thing, my guy's got to step it up. If we're allowed to just grab the ball and stop plays from happening and it's not a delay of game, then what have we been doing all year? The assistants, I was an assistant, so what was I doing all year? So if that is okay to do, and I guess that's okay, then we should start doing it. I've never seen that before, to be honest. But again, if they don't call it, they don't call it, and it didn't have any impact on the game. So it is what it is. I'm sure the league will look at it. Did you know that Ben Goody had that in him? Yeah, he's pretty competitive guy, obviously, and an amazing coach. So, that's what this series is going to be. There's so many winning people in this series, and basketball pedigree, NBA history. You got a championship coach down there, and I said this, and I'm not trying to overdo this. James and Kawhi are so special. So, this series has it all. Like, if I was a fan, I'm watching this series. It's physical. There's playmaking. There's role players making big shots. Schematically, I thought the game was awesome as far as the adjustments that were made on both sides. So excited for Monday.
David, you guys were trailing most of the game, and I know you said that it was that run at the end of the second quarter that allowed you to win it. But the fact that you don't lead again till late, you grind it out in overtime. What does it say about what this team has, what this team is capable to close out a game like that? Yeah, I'll say it again. It's just stay connected in tough times. It really is. That's what it is. In the playoffs, the timeouts are so long. There's so much conversation that, it can kind of go sideways when things are going well. You got 3.5 minutes to talk to each other in a really intense moment. And I thought the guys did a good job of pushing each other the right way. And we have to do that throughout this series. This is going to be extremely tough. We know that. And I thought I saw that the last 3 games, which were playoff games, to get into this thing. And that's the key, man. Go out and play and all that stuff, but stay together and cheer for the guy that's out there if you're not out there. Help that guy, talk to him. So that's what it takes. And if that's what it takes to win 4 times, let's do it. Let's stay together.
So, David, in the back on your right,
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You just kind of touched on staying there, cheer the guy on, whatever. So when you have players that aren't as engaged because the night's not going their way, in this case it happened to be Mike, and you're focused on what's going on the court, how do you get a guy back in that's maybe hanging out at the end of the bench and not that engaged with what's going on? And in this case, I'm saying, but in general, to keep a guy that isn't having their best night in the huddle and around everything.
I'll be honest. I'm coaching the game. So guys have to stay engaged themselves. These are grown men trying to win a basketball game on a team. So the guys on the bench can talk to them. Our assistant coaches can talk to them. When I had a chance, I talked to Mike, and I was trying to be communicative about what my thoughts were, how I thought he could get back in the game. And like I said, sometimes runs happen, and you go, I just don't know if we can take somebody out right now with the way the team is playing. And I'm going to say it again, like I've said last week. If Mike comes out and he plays and he's engaged defensively, he's knocking down shots, Michael will be out there, just like everybody else in that locker room. I'm going to keep saying it. I mean it. We're going to do anything we have to do to win a basketball game.
How big was Aaron for you on both sides?
Incredible. Some of the offensive rebounds, second possessions, the play where he went to the basket and dunked it, and we were having a hard time scoring, a late clock, defensively, walling up at the rim, guarding Zubats, guarding Kawhi, switching on to James and double drags. Absolutely incredible. Such a good basketball player, winning basketball player. So happy for Aaron.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
The difference, the Nuggets had 94 field goal attempts to 86 for the Clippers. Why? Because they had a whole bunch of steals and they had fast break layups. And that gave them extra possessions. That along with free throws, even though the Clippers shot a higher percentage, better from the 3-point line, the Nuggets had that. And that's what carried them to this victory.
Yeah, look at how many live ball turnovers this is. It's a lot. And you're talking about a team that shot 44%. If they'd had half of that, that would have been 41%. And they might have lost the basketball game today. And that's exactly how important turnovers are, especially live ball turnovers are to the overall enterprise. Look, this was working in the reverse for the Nuggets for the most of the season, which was they were turning the ball over a ton, and that was negatively impacting how they could play defense. Well, guess what? When it's in the reverse, you see why that matters and why you won by 2 in overtime, and you needed 29 points off of those turnovers, and you got it.
Colorado's social as we talk about Jamal Murray's performance today. 6 points at halftime, finished with 21. Guys, do you know that he tied for the team lead in rebounds? He had 9 boards in this game.
Vic's did 7 assists too, Vic. Remember, Jamal only played 2 games and not even that much at the end of the regular season because he'd been out a couple weeks. Dems, what a response. Big shot Jamal is what I call him tonight.
And here from Jamal Murray.
Jamal, I know you're not one to get too high or too low over the course of the game, success or failure, but just how did it feel to kind of get going there later in the later portions of that game? And, those few threes you hit felt like they were momentum changers.
I'm glad they were. I just feel like I could play a lot better, throughout the game. Still trying to just got to settle down and make some shots, but felt good to get it up.
How valuable has the years of experience playing alongside Nikola, Aaron, CB been in moments like that where the game is tight that you guys can lean on the years that you have played together?
Yeah, I think it's a lot. It stems from that trust stems deep, just from playing together, playing in so many big games. And, I just think we have a lot of trust in each other. So that was part of the reason why I feel like we got the job done today. And even then, I think we can be a lot better for our next game.
Jamal, you knew you were going to see a whole bunch of extra bodies, a whole bunch of extra attention. They started doubling off of Russ kind of in that fourth quarter. Just how big was that shot by him, and just understanding that the ball is eventually going to find him in a lot of those situations?
Yeah, I don't think it was just a 3, though. He makes a lot of winning plays, stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, So I don't just watch the shots that he makes. No, he was 5 for 17. It doesn't matter to me. He's playing hard. He's playing defense. He's talking. He's in the huddle. He's active. He's anticipating passes. He's doing everything else. So, a lot of stuff doesn't show in the stat sheet, and you just look at the shots that he makes or misses. But I feel like he impacts the game in plenty of ways, and he did that again tonight.
Was there an uptick in just your aggression in the third quarter and just in the second half in general? And, what were you seeing in terms of the coverages and, how were you able to kind of counteract them a little bit?
I didn't really do anything. I just tried to play solid throughout the game. I didn't make, I had some good looks that I didn't make, but I didn't do anything special, in my opinion.
Jamal, obviously Mike didn't play a lot late, and Da just talked about he's got to coach the game. He can't worry about guys that aren't necessarily engaged. But do you, as one of the leaders on the team, make sure guys that aren't necessarily in the game in crunch time are still staying engaged? Or can you, is that a conversation you have? I'm not just picking on Mike. I'm saying in general, if a guy's not as engaged as you'd like.
Sure. If I'm on the court, though, I'm not going to the bench and telling whoever he's got to stay locked in. I feel like that's a question for D or something. I'm just trying to win a basketball game, and whoever's playing the best is trying to give us a chance out there. Some nights not going to be your night, as he just explained. So I don't look into it too much. I felt like whoever was out there was playing good at the time. So,
Jamal, you guys crushed them in points off turnovers. I think you were plus 20 in that category. Did it feel like it was a better effort in transition defense for you guys, more communication?
Yeah, I think it's also personnel, though. They're really good in the half court. Obviously, we got some young guys that are pretty quick in the fast break. So I think it was more of a personnel thing. I think just kind of making those one-on-one situations in the off a turnover, off a rebound, whatever. That's all I got for you.
Jamal, it felt like early they had a big advantage on the offensive glass and second chance points, but late Russ and AG were creating extra possessions for you guys. Just how valuable was their work on that end?
I try to tell you, super valuable. It doesn't always come down to making shots, I know that's how we critique everybody nowadays, but a lot of guys on this team make a lot of winning plays. So I'm just thankful to have them on the team and guys that play that hard and are that selfless for the guy next to them. So I think that was a big reason, again, why we won tonight. Yeah.
Jamal, there's a lot of open layups and just open opportunities for them in the first quarter. Just could you sense the defense kind of improving as the game went on, as the effort continued to get better? And just what were some ways that you thought that you guys improved on that end?
I just thought as the game got more competitive, both teams just, it was becomes more of a fun matchup. Both teams are fouling each other, not going to call everything. And just a fun game, So just glad we came up on the dub. We did what we had to do, and now we got to go more over the game too. That same kind of mentality. I don't think we played our best today, and as a unit, I think we can be a lot better for game two. That we kind of saw I got a feel for everything that's going to go on in the game and the energy and all that. So, on to game two.
Jamal, there were multiple.
But I got to show you this play. Remember when the ball went off Kawhi Leonard and the Nuggets are trying to inbound it? And Joker's trying to stay. That's Jeff Van Gundy. That is the Clippers assistant coach pulling a Matt Ishbia.
Wait, that happened one other time.
Matt Ishbia in Phoenix 2 years ago.
The Phoenix owner.
Yes. What is with members of the opposing organization trying to keep the ball out of Joker's hands?
Hey, who won that, by the way? Who won that battle?
Well, obviously Joker and the Nuggets.
Yeah, Joker won that one.
You know what's going on there. They know that they don't want Joker to inbound it because they're going to review it.
Yeah.
They lost the review, so it doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
But there's Jeff Van Gundy. The Nuggets started the game hitting threes. They got a bunch of threes. 3 straight threes to open the game. Jamal Murray puts the Nuggets up 2. But back come the Clippers. Man, it did not look pretty, the defense early. They cut right through the teeth of that Nuggets D. And Chris Dunn makes it a 9-0 LA run. And the Clippers keep coming. Harden with the blow-by here. Clippers suddenly up by 12. But the Nuggets respond that run with a 10-0 run of their own. Soft touch. Nikola Jokic.
How about that 2-man pick and roll, Dems?
Yeah, great pass.
The beard is a beast. We know this. Final seconds of the first quarter. Whoa. How do you stop that? He had 15 first quarter points.
Yeah, that's how he's been doing it over the course of his career. Just one of the best one-on-one players we've seen.
More damage from the Clippers in the second quarter. Again, Zubats is so tough to stop down low, especially from right there. Clippers have a 15-point lead, everybody. They're up 15 early. Little defense, please. Finally clicked for the Nuggets. Under 3 to play in the first half. I'll take that, Christian Brown. And the Nuggets would cut it to 4 at halftime. Very manageable, fellas.
Look at the effortless up two-hand flush.
We go to the third quarter and we talk about protecting the rock. The Nuggets, for the most part, did a great job of that. Not on this particular play. Easy turnover, and all of a sudden, LA's up 8 to start the second half. Got to get Jamal Murray going. Only 6 points in the first half. Find a way to get a bucket. He finds a way, and he cuts it to 2.
Little Euro step there, Dems.
Mm-hmm. Final minute of the third now. Joker going to get his mitts on a pass. Look at Joker going coast to coast.
Yeah, the deceleration right at the rim to lay it in.
He had to speed up to be able to slow down there.
To the fourth quarter. Need a 3. 3 ball, hard to come by unless that man is shooting it. Jamal Murray all tied up with 7 minutes to go. It's crunch time, baby. Joker doing his thing. Look at this cut by Russ Westbrook. Wide open in the middle. Again, Westbrook huge down the stretch. The Nuggets have the lead.
Fearless inside, RW.
But the Clippers would get that lead right back. Nuggets down 1, under 30 seconds to play. Who wants that 3 ball? Ross? Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be, look, he's going to get these shots the entirety of the series. And as we see here, he's capable of making them certainly when the times warrant them the most.
All right, can the Nuggets play defense? A hold here, you win the game. Harden, man, that's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And this puppy is headed to overtime. In the extra period, I thought AG was huge. Watch AG here. He goes digging. He's digging. He's digging for gold. Bucket.
You want some
bucket.
You want some physicality? AG will give you that.
A minute to go now. The Clippers are within 1. Who wants the stage at this point? Christian Brown from downtown. His only 3 of the game could not have come at a better time than that. The Nuggets are up by 4, but it's not over yet. It's not. Not until this play here. After James Harden hits the 3, they cut it to 1 because Harden is Harden. But after this, Russell Westbrook on the inbound. What does he do special here? What does he do?
Oh, well, look, you're just talking about a hustle of the highest degree. You're not just going to allow the pass to get to the star player. Russell Westbrook basically just said no to that inbounds play.
And he knew it was off L.A.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I like? He just never shows emotion.
Here are your Chevy postgame stats. Again, if I had told you the Nuggets shoot 44% and win the game, well, you better have it in other areas, and they did.
Yeah, they did. Points in the paint. I mean, the rebounding was in their favor. Turnovers in their favor. And they took way more free throws than the Clippers did in this game as well.
More from the Nuggets locker room when we come back. Yeah, we beat you. We beat. That's easy. This guy was smashing everything.
Yeah,
Aaron
look at that.
Gordon.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that dunk right there. 25 points on 14 shots. That's exactly what you're looking for. From an efficiency standpoint, Aaron Gordon, okay, so in the last 3 games, so when David Adelman took over, and the offense kind of got spread out over a bunch of players, well, Aaron Gordon led the team in scoring in the last 3 games, over 25 points per game in that span.
One game does not a series make. As you look at the Western Conference bracket, nothing easy out west, fellas. Nothing.
But you had a fun stat about teams that win game 1.
They win at least, I'm told now, 80% of the time in the first round.
There you go.
You win game 1, you usually win the series.
Yeah.
You know, series are all about with your day off. What adjustments are you going to make? Clippers are going to say, we can't turn it over. We got to be better on the turnover. They'll be better. The Nuggets are going to say, how do we handle some of these double teams and traps that the Clippers threw at them late in the game?
Yeah, I can't wait for all the adjustments. All right, Nuggets took care of business in the first part of this double dipperoo. Now it's the Avs' turn. Keep it right here. Avalanche Live is coming up next. The Nuggets rally from 15 down to win in overtime. Thanks for watching Nuggets Postgame Live.